I am a Munstack developer, and this is a project task management system developed using the Munstack, MongoDB, Express, React, and Node.js. The application allows user to register, log in, create, and manage tasks, organize them by priority, and securely update or delete tasks using the authentication. In this video, I will briefly explain the backend flow, front-end logic, and overall working of the application. Let's start with the sign up flow. So I'm starting with the backend of the sign up. So here I create a login user function which tries to see the user filled the valid email or if he had filled the invalid credential in any of the component of the website. For the judgment, a user schema is defined in the models as user.js, where a user schema is a Mongo's schema where a name, email, password is being entered in a way that is structured and saved in the MongoDB database. On the front end, when the form is submitted, a post request is sent to the backend registration API. So when I click sign up, the data in the form is sent to the backend. After successful sign up, the user can log in and access the task management dashboard, and I will explain in the next. So this is the process, and here is the dashboard of this website where a user can interact with. So one of the important component of this website is the add task. A user can add a task where he want to do his daily activity or something important activity which he wants to be remembered. So by clicking on this button over the nav bar, add task, a form is appeared in front of a user where he can submit the title, description, and the priority of that task. On the backend, the request first passes through the authentication middleware. The middleware verifies the JWT token and extract the user ID. Let me show you by doing this. When I click on this, the task one which I have submitted on that form is appeared in high priority due to its the priority I have selected over the form. On the back end, this authenticated middleware verifies that is the user registered in the website or not using the JWT token, and this token is checked by these process and using the try catch. JWT verifies the process.env JWT secret code. Whereas in the database, MongoDB stores the task using a Mongoose schema. The schema enforces validation rules such as required field and allowed priority values. After successful creation, the backend returns the newly created task over the priority we have selected in the front end. When a user has completed his task, he can just click on this button over here, mark completed, and when once he click on this styling over the task is appeared and it shows it status as completed. Over the front end, this code runs where the status is not equals to completed, then button is marked as completed. Mark completed button is occurred. I have created a function update task status, and over here I defined the logic behind the process of updating a task between complete and in the process where const task awaits for task and finds the ID and the user. Once the task is completed, an individual is allowed to delete this task by using this button over here, and once it he clicks, it pops up a notification where it asks, are you sure you want to delete this? And if you confirm this, it will delete from the UI and from the MongoDB database. Where in the backend, this Function over here, delete task, works for it, where it checks that on the backend that delete request first passes through the authentications, and then authentication middleware uses which verifies the JWT token and extract the user ID. The task controller then searches for the task using the task ID and the authenticated user ID over here. This application follows a clean and modular and secure REST APIs architecture using Node.js and Express. Backend is responsible for authentication, authorization, protected actions, and managing tasks securely for each user. Authentication is handled using JWT token. Once a user logs in, a token is generated and a front end for every protected request. This token is verified using the authentication middleware, where middleware ensures the request is valid and user is authenticated. The user ID is attached to request object. Whereas all business logic is handled inside controller files, which keeps the code organized and scalable. Controller handles user registration, login, creation of task, and task fetching, updating, and deletion of task. Over here, different functions is been created for handling the various process of CRUD operations, where MongoDB is used as a database and Mongo's schema has been created for validation for user and for a task separately. Whereas the frontend is built using the React.js and follows a component-based architecture. It is responsible for user interaction, routing, form handling, and communicating with backend API. Different form is been embedded, such as for add a task, for login, and for sign up. I have created a navbar using the navbar.js. Over here, I have defined the handle logout and for different condition handling for creation of a task. This based on the priority, these tasks are built and mentioned based on their priority. Completed tasks are visually distinguished and unnecessarily action are disabled to avoid duplicate updates. This task management system demonstrates a complete full stack MERN application with secure authentication and real-world task handling feature. The backend ensures data security, authorization, scalability using JWT, middleware, and MongoDB, while frontend provides a clean and user-friendly interface using React. User can register, log in, create tasks, manage priorities, update task status, and delete tasks in a secure and organized manner. So this was all about my project. Thank you.